Okay. Any other owners have comments that are the same nature or have the same concerns per se. So I'm just gonna only open the floors for a little bit, and then we can start discussing the point one by one.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Go ahead.
I've heard that you've had a number of board meetings since our AGM in November, but you've also had a number cancelled. So exactly how many meetings have you had since November?
We could definitely answer that. Any other concerns?
What was that? Sorry.
I said we could definitely address this.
Oh, okay.
Any other concerns?
Well, yes, I follow with Sandra and her. When I got copies of the minutes, well, my first reaction was just to laugh at them. They were absolutely farcical. So we haven't had a budget given to us. We've had an illegal increase put on us as of May 1st. Like $20 is not in keeping with our declaration. It should have been a percentage. I believe it might have even been as low as 2.5% of our 355, and 355 plus 2% does not equate to $20. Excuse me. I might not be a mathematician, but even a lesser person can see that. I just wonder how many decisions are being made by the board if you're not having meetings, and are you just sort of doing this by email and having a street chat? It's all stuff like this that's bothering me.
No, that's okay, Kathy. I think I got the gist of what you're trying to say. We will respond to that as well. I'm just gonna give the floor to. We only have a very limited time here, so is there anything else that's different than the 2 points that you just made?
Well, one more thing. How much preventive maintenance are you doing? Do you know what even preventive maintenance is?
Of course, we will
respond. Like by the looks of it, nothing has been done around here, and I know from my past experience that there are things that need to be done to these units to keep them up and standing. And if you're not looking after them, then they're going to start falling down, and they're going to cost even more to repair. So
no, we got the concern. Thank you very much.
Being done.
Anybody else has any? Actually, because we're not gonna have. I think we're gonna have enough time just for. So the whole point of the owners meeting is we have to have a specific number of concerns that we have to address, and we will respond to all these concerns.
Sorry, Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I'm trying to take minutes, and I'm having a really hard time hearing because there's some background noise, I think, from one of the phone calls. So I'm just wondering if whoever that is can mute. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. All right. So I'm just going to open the floor again. If there's Kathy has some concerns, Sandra has some concerns,
and me here, Amen. About preventative maintenance, I can at least add to that.
we're not gonna. I'm just only taking concerns right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, because I just if there's common themes, we want to respond to everything at the same time. I don't want to have to repeat the same discussion. That's why I want to take all the concerns at once, and then we can address them one at a time.
Okay, and the transparency. I've had, not only me, but a lot of owners have said they've had by the email, they're not getting any answers back. No one's getting back to them.
No, no one.
And that seems to be a big, like, that was when I was going around getting signatures. That was a huge response for most of the people. It's like, we're not getting any answers. Like, so what's the point? In fact, some of them didn't even know who the board members were.
Okay. So I think if anybody else has any comments, we'll start responding to the concerns one by one.
Can the people that are phone numbers, can they add their names? Because I'm just confused. I'm jumping in on this meeting, and all I see is phone number, and I don't know who they are.
I think I've got their names. Jeanette Grapp as 22.
I have my name on mine, but can everyone else put their name on theirs? I see a 3962825 that keeps talking, but I don't know who it is.
That's me. That's
Okay, can you not add your name in there?
Yeah, I have Sandra down.
A little hard when I'm not on a landline, not a cell phone.
Well, 2825 will be known as Sandra for now, and Jeanette is 2263.
Okay, sounds good.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me, Megan?
Yes, Ted. Hello.
Is Ted?
Yes.
Ted.
Here we go. Oh,
What does that mean?
Hi, Ted.
yeah.
Ted, do you have something to say, or are you just saying hi?
Well, I think I can sum up a lot of what was said with the comment that I think the what I'm hearing is that things just aren't getting done, and we seem to have a board that's just not, that's somewhat dysfunctional. If it's not meeting regularly, things don't get done.
You have not responded to that, so I will not start assuming stuff.
Well, I know that things aren't getting done, so I mean,
We're not here just for. I think
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm sorry, Ted, but we're not gonna just take on, like, if you're not adding something new to the concern. I don't like summary. I think we've already heard the concern, so I don't think it will add any value just re-summarizing the same concerns.
Whatever.
What's not getting done?
Okay. All right. So Janet, I'm sorry, but if we're not. I think we're trying to get concerns and then respond to these concerns.
But what's not getting done that they're complaining about? I don't understand.
We don't understand that either, Janet.
For what's not getting done, I can tell you we're not getting picks when we're supposed to be getting them. You're not doing anything that needs to be done around here, and it's very obvious what needs to be done.
I'm not around there, so can you please tell me what it is that's not getting done? Because I do pay my condo fees, and I'm not up there. But what is it complaining?
That's what I'm concerned about. Is we're paying these condo fees, and yet nothing seems to be getting done.
What's not getting done?
There has been no.
I'm sorry, folks. We can't have a meeting if we have like people taking the meeting sideways. I would ask everyone to go on mute, including you, Kathy, because I don't think we're gonna have secondary meetings while we're trying to have one big meeting for everybody. I would want to start responding to those requests. Sandra, can you go on mute?
Sorry.
That's okay. It's all good. I just there was some feedback was coming from your phone. So we want to start responding to those comments. I'm starting with the meetings. The condo board does not have to meet every single month. We don't have to have a bi-monthly meeting or there's no requirement for us to do that. We did meet. We did have a meeting. We did have two meetings were canceled this year. So,
Eamon, sorry, I just noticed Kara raised her hand a couple of times.
Okay, go ahead, Kara.
Sorry, there were a few questions and I'm trying to take minutes and I'm just wondering, there've been a few comments about nothing's getting done. Can we just have for the minutes what people think isn't getting done so I can include that in the minutes? Please?
Backyards. Have you seen any of these backyards? I mean, somebody's feeding ducks.
Actually, recently, Shelley and I did a walk around of the property. So yeah, we're like starting to get into that, to do it on a routine basis.
You know what date that was?
Shelley, it was like what, like a week ago, a week and a half ago?
It was last week.
Again, folks, we're not trying to have a sideways conversations here. So we want to be able to go through the concerns one by one. I'll provide a response for most of them, and we'll give the rest of the board the floor to give their own responses as well. And so basically, in terms of number of meetings, I think we've met more than enough this year. In terms of business getting done, a lot of business is getting done. I don't think it's a fair comment that's being made about nothing being done, because that is not correct.
Excuse me, Eamon, may I butt in there on that point? Because of my past experience on the board, I know when I was on the board, we looked at a siding issue on the front of the units. We investigated, and there is a serious problem behind the siding due to water encroachment. Has anything been done on that?
Kathy, I don't think that's true. I think you had a report, and we had a follow-up report from Browns and Beatty, and that report is at a minimum, it's inconclusive, doesn't tell you anything. We brought in a contractor. He looked at the report and he looked at the issue, and then there's really not a lot that there's really. There's no evidence that this is a widespread issue or even a localized issue.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about specific issue like that, because we will be spending the next 7 hours talking about different things. So I'm gonna respectfully ask people to stop interjecting, allow us to finish addressing the points.
Just let me put one point in there.
Go ahead.
If that had been shown up, that decision and that comment that you have just made had been shown up in a set of minutes, I wouldn't be doing this. It's because I've had nothing. I know that at least I was under the impression that there was a problem, and now nothing has been done, in my opinion. But now you're telling me that yes, it has been done. A decision has been made. Why?
No decision has been made.
Obviously, a decision has been made, because you're not doing anything about it.
Yes, right.
You know.
Right, well, you can anyways.
He doesn't think there is a problem.
We're unable to. We're not going to be jumping all over each other. Okay. And we have to. You guys ask questions. You guys were allowed to have your concerns voiced. You guys need to allow us to respond without interjecting.
Okay, I will.
Again, sorry, just to point, like Kara again has raised her hand. So, Kara, please.
Sorry, I probably just forgot to lower it.
Okay, cool.
I'll lower it. Sorry.
I was just weird noticing. Okay.
Can I clarify something?
Please do.
Good.
I just want to clarify the board meetings. When we were elected as members in November, we had a brief meeting at the Davidson Center, and we all agreed we would meet monthly, the second Tuesday of each month. That's in the minutes, and that has not happened.
I think I remember that conversation very clearly. We did not agree to meet monthly. we told you that we will not wanna, there'll be no requirement for us or to meet monthly. However, we agreed as a compromise to put a date, and you agreed to that as well, Shelley, to put a date and we will meet. I think that was. I think the other board members can speak to that as well. But again, I'm not here trying to go do and back and forth. I think we wanted to allow people to voice their concerns and give us a chance to respond to the concerns and not continue this parade of interjections and back and forth. That's not what.
Absolutely. Well, and I'll say one thing about the monthly or whatever, our board meetings. It is the month of December after the AGM in November. The month of December was a wash just because it's Christmas. So, we definitely skipped that month for that reason. And so
that's the only one we
missed like
agreed
one
to
other
skip.
one.
That was the only one we agreed to skip, December.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we had one in January. We skipped February, so that was our, the flub.
Right.
Was
So I'm gonna,
February,
Megan. I'm just gonna give. Okay. So the response on the meetings. Thank you, Shelley, for your point. But I think I'm gonna be very clear. We said we're not gonna meet every month, and we set the date. I think you agreed. You insisted on having a date put as a placeholder, but not to be had. So for everyone else on the.
Can I interject, please? It's Sandra. I
Okay,
have the
go ahead.
minutes right in front of me. It says to be held monthly, second Tuesday of every month at 7 p.m.
Thank you.
Well, that would not have been what we had agreed on an actual set date.
Took your minutes down.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
I'll take responsibility for that if it was my error because I was the secretary at the time.
Okay. So I think hopefully this clears up if there's a misunderstanding or expectation. But from a condo board rules, there's no requirements to have 12 meetings in a year whatsoever. So we actually we.
It's highly suggested.
It is highly suggested. That's correct. But there's no requirement. And if you have understood that should be a meeting every month, that's not the case. In terms of ability of the board conducting business, we have contracts in place. We have we had the snow removal contract in place. We have the landscaping contracts in place, and then we were able to over the last year when things broke down, we were able to, or things were deteriorating. We brought in people to do the work. We've done we've done already some maintenance. In terms of Kathy's comments to the upkeep, for example, the retaining wall on the inside roads, that was done, and that was not done. That was done because things were start to crumble and fall apart.
That was because it had been hit. That was because they were rotting.
Okay, Kathy, that beside the point. We're not trying to why is it why did it happen? All we can tell you is that when things did not work,
I would hope that when something was damaged, that it was repaired immediately.
Okay.
Because it's not fair to let an owner have a broken.
No, you got, because you guys made a very unfair comment about this board, and then we're trying to respond to you. So please allow us to respond. Okay.
So Eddie Daniel has raised his hand.
Okay.
Even in person.
Okay, I think we will allow Eddie to speak and give once I'm finished. Once I finish my responses. Okay.
Yes. I was an unpaid worker for many years. Oh, Eddie, do please shut up. I know what.
Thank
you're
you,
like.
thank you, Addie.
I know what
Kathy,
you're
you,
like, and
Kathy,
I have no
Kathy.
desire to talk to you.
No. Kathy, we cannot go after each other like that. I think we were
with Eddie
held with
Daniel.
respect, and I think we cannot go after each other like that. I think we're having a meeting. We wanted everybody to say their concerns. We'll give us an opportunity to respond to these concerns, and at the same time, have a discussion, a very civil discussion. That's the objective of this meeting. Thank you. Okay, so that's on the comments of the dysfunction. No, there's nothing in regards of that. In terms of preventive maintenance, so we are going to go ahead with the push schedule. We have not announced it yet because it was just on Friday that we solidified and we paid the deposit for the completion of the push schedule. So, well, Ted helped. Ted helped out, and thank you, Ted, for helping out.
And then recognizing that.
No. We appreciated Ted's help, and then he talked to North Star. We went with the board, did the due diligence. We went and we brought in another contractor, gave us another quotation, which was slightly less than what North Star was quoting us, which is gave us a good sense of that North Star was not too far, and then it was a decision that was made to go with North Star for multiple reasons. One of them being a local and being very reputable, and the difference was not big enough. So addressing the issues of having preventive maintenance. Also, part of the preventive maintenance is our plan in the reserve study. That we have things has to be done every so often, and then this would be a big part of it. In terms of the concern that Sandra had at the beginning about not having the meeting minutes. I'm sorry, meeting minutes are not set to be journals, and you guys supposed to be for decisions made to be documented. So the meeting minutes are only supposed to be snippets of discussions and only decisions clearly being made. In terms of so again, that's not a very fair comment from Sandra on us having meetings outside the meetings and deciding on things. Everything's not a lot of things need to be decided, but when things need to be decided, we are deciding them inside the meeting, with the exception of.
How come it doesn't show in your minutes?
Well, I don't know exactly.
Requested your minutes, and nowhere does it say that a motion was put forward, that the whole board voted on it, and they agreed. There is nowhere.
So North Star?
Sorry,
No.
I'll ask because I'm the author, have been the author of the minutes. So what item was left out of the minutes specifically?
All of them. Discussions and decisions. Summaries of topics discussed and business carried out, including any votes or resolutions, must go into your minutes. That's the Condo Act. That's not me.
Right. We can simply agree to disagree, Sandra. I think you are explaining something that is really not substantiated. No. So there's no. Basically, the one item for the North Star was a decision was made at the board. We'll just have to perhaps highlight it to you outside of this meeting because there's a meeting minutes. That was that. I do recognize. I'm going to recognize the request that you made and the response that you received, which was not adequate in terms of when you requested your last meeting requests, and then maybe going forward, if you wish, we can send you those meeting minutes every meeting. I don't mind. We're not doing it. We're not doing anything in secret. So our meeting minutes can be shared with whoever with any owner who wishes for the meetings to be be shared with. So I am just this is the end of my responses. I think we had a trend of making accusations that are not substantiated, and we're saying that things are not being done. And Kathy, you were on the board for so many years, and I really appreciate all the work. And
Eamon, can I just make one comment?
go ahead.
If you ever go
Go
to
ahead.
a meeting up at Bruce Power, I hope to hell you're not taking the minutes.
Nice
All
comment.
right. No,
That's
that's
no
that's no problem. I value the work that this board is doing. I think Megan has done a very good job on the minutes, and we're sorry that you guys were expecting journals that you could read before bedtime, but that's not what minutes is for. So but this is the end of my responses. I would open the floor for the remaining board members to respond. Dave and Megan, I'm pretty sure you have, and Kara and Shelly, if you have something, please one by one, do we make your responses?
Okay, I'll go back to where Sharon was talking about the investments that we had, and some of these investments had come due. The investments are not sitting. The ones that came due are not sitting somewhere in an account. They were automatically put into our reserve fund, and the interest rates that would have been given to those if we would have reinvested them was very similar to the interest rates that they were getting in our reserve fund. So there really wasn't, and I went over to the bank and I talked to our investment officer. And after I had talked to him, I also ran it by Iman, and we both decided that probably the best way forward was to leave them there. Besides
So Dave,
that, we knew we had. Excuse me.
Dave, I think.
I'd like to finish.
Yeah. Just to this one. I think because we are the action. There was no action was taken from us. Not doing anything would put the money back into the account. So there was no decision that has to be made by the board to make a new investment. So if this is what's supposed to be an extension, we would have brought it to the board. But in that case, there was no decision, and then there was the board meeting happened after. So the basically the money was automatically brought back to our account. No action was needed from us.
How about tree removal and all that?
And as
I tend to disagree with that. That has to be put to the full board. It just can't be two of you that decide that. Dave just said that it was you and two of you that decided it.
Again, Sandra, that's you interjecting and putting your opinion on the decision. Dave is the treasurer, and a financial item like this. Well, that's your opinion to me. I think you are wrong. I think you are wrong.
Do you want me to take it to the condo association and have them deal with it?
In support of Sandra, I agree with her. It is not our decision just to change money.
Right. So what is? Can you reiterate the concern?
Can I what? Sorry.
Can you reiterate the concern? Or what is your concern exactly?
My concern is that decisions have to be made as a full board. Not two people can make the decision. Not one person can make the decision. There are five.
And then
the five of you has to be presented at a meeting, and you have to vote on it.
Okay. So in that case, you had the treasurer.
One person was elected.
No, that's not one person. I think in that case, you had we are cherry picking, and then you guys are not simply. There's no decision that you're talking about here that are of any consequential value. You had something that expired.
That is a consequential value.
Well, I don't know if there's two things of equal value or of consequential value, right? So I'm not.
a consequence of value.
Okay, well, we can always agree to disagree, Kathy, as well. But what I'm saying here, in this case,
disagreeing.
Okay, no, in this case, you had the treasurer made a decision within his.
You better read the Condo Act again.
Okay, well,
Maybe you should be the president, Stan.
Need to study it from A to Z and sort this damn place out.
They are basically just, yeah, it's a group decision.
I don't.
The group
Again,
has to make decisions.
taking something small.
I want to say something. I want to say
I'll
something.
just sleep.
Go ahead.
I think this is another example of, when we say, well, nothing is being done, we ask what is not being done, nothing is being given. So that's another example of this. So I really do not want to keep going in circles over something. I think we made it very clear.
I see,
what has
I see that Rosie raised her hand.
Okay, Rosie, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got kicked off.
Oh,
Okay.
That's why you raised your hand? Oh, no.
Okay. All
everything.
right, Rosie. Welcome back, Rosie.
Show us the way, Rosie.
Okay. Dave, you were still talking. Go ahead.
To say that nothing's been done around here,
So unfair.
we had all of we had pruning, we had trees removed, we've had trees replanted. We've had retaining walls built. We had a downspout up at 33 that was down for a couple of months. We had that replenished. We had
The storm drains and the
back
sand
patios
drains.
redone that were broken and redone again. We've done a lot of work here.
You know what might have helped if you'd sent out a newsletter to tell all the owners what the hell you were doing, which wasn't obvious to any of us.
Right now, we're looking for a volunteer to make one. Kathy,
Yeah.
would you like to step up?
Please step up. We never
I'll step up and take a newsletter on. I've got it already on my computer from when I was on the board before.
Okay. Well, Kathy, what about this?
Great.
Hey, Kathy, what about this? I think the whole newsletter thing is while we have people on the board, if we have enough people on the board that we have one or two owners that want to feel so strongly about sending a newsletter, we will be sending a call for volunteers, and if somebody wants to take it on, we are more than happy to facilitate that. But again, so we could definitely, there's an owners meeting that's going to happen. We have an AGM. Usually, this is the place where we will list all the items that was done throughout the year, and the AGM hasn't come yet.
Yeah.
Oh, they won't come for another 6 months.
Exactly. So I don't have.
Another
I
6
don't.
months to find out what was done a year ago.
Kathy, just to be blunt here, we're not here to sit here and knock on your door and tell you that we fixed the patio and we fixed it down sprouts or something broken and we fixed it.
Eamon, I'm sorry. I'm just so frustrated with you guys that
I understand.
I'm losing my cool. So good night. I'm signing off. Okay. Good night.
Thank you very much,
brother. Kidney gun baby.
All right. Anyways, folks. So I think what we're dealing with here is a lot of unreasonable expectation.
Very much so.
So we're happy to respond to anything that is reasonable. We are more than happy to admit when something is not done to expectation, which is Sandra. I think your request for meeting minutes was not handled appropriately, and then we can tell you that. I think, and Eddie, thank you for mentioning that we are here
volunteer help
as giving our own time here, spending time away from our family,
And this doesn't have to be stressful.
Okay, every previous board was a volunteer board.
Exactly.
Every previous board.
Exactly. We're not saying exactly, but this attitude
we're not doing above and beyond.
of entitlement and demanding of information and demanding of some superior standards and expecting people to answer to you is not the way to appreciate somebody's work. It's as simple as Sandra, myself, including everybody on this board, are more than happy to hand it over to the next board.
Yes.
And you will do the same thing to that next board as you did to the previous board, as you did to the time when you were on that board and you stepped out. So let's have things in its right perspective.
Yeah.
I think
all I'm asking is for compliance with the act.
And Sandra, like I said as well, it's Megan here, but I said it a couple of times already, but my apologies. Like I'll take ownership because I was the secretary. So if anything in the minutes that I prepared is lacking, I'll take ownership of that, and it will improve going forward.
But just holding up the act is what is required. You've got to enforce the rules and regulations, the declaration, make sure it's all followed. And I mean, I know that's the terrible part about being on a board is doing the forcing of the rules and regulations and the declaration, because no one wants to be told what they can't and can do. But it has to be done.
I have a suggestion. Can I speak, please?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I realized, we had a management company and we paid a lot of dues from everyone. We got very little from them. So I suggest people start looking for a management company so we can pay a lot of money out, because this is not worth all the criticism and hell that people on the board, other than ourselves, that put us through for. No, it's so critical. It's toxic. And you all better friggin' grow up. We're doing the best we can here. And you take over. Take over, Sandra, and see how good you do.
Can I have a minute?
I've already been on the board, Pat, numerous times.
Well, what the hell did you do? We waited 9 years to get a wall fixed. You did nothing.
I have a minute. Can I have a minute? Go ahead. Okay, I don't live up there, but I'm going to tell you, I'm on a board of directors here in Kitchener, and it's a lot of work. We pay a management company.
No kidding.
We pay a management company, which you guys don't. I'm really impressed. Every time I come to Kincardine, I actually come back to Kitchener and tell our condo, because I own 3 or 4 of them, how great Kincardine is. I love those units. And I think you guys are doing an amazing job. I did not like the management company. And I'm sorry, but you guys are nitpicking over bullshit. Minutes are minutes. And I'm sorry, but if you guys want to pay for a management company because you want better minutes, then that comes out of your pocket, because I'm really impressed with this complex. I am really impressed with the fact that we don't pay a management company. And I hats off to everybody that volunteers. Like, I'm so thankful for you guys. And I'm telling you, that complex, you need to come to Kitchener and look at ours. And we pay way more condo fees here in Kitchener. And our complexes don't look like yours. They're beautiful up there. There you go. Every time I walk up there, I love it. So I'm sorry. I'm very appreciative of our board of directors. Hats off to you. And anybody who's complaining, we have a newsletter, and our newsletter for ours down here is done by a volunteer, not a board director, because they don't have time. They're already volunteering a lot of hours. If you want a newsletter every month, then come to the table and volunteer your time and do it, because they're already putting a lot of time in. And we don't have meetings single month. We have probably about 9 or 10. There's months that we don't have them because we don't need them. And if we don't need them, we don't have them. Why do you want to meet for something that, to me, a lot of what I'm hearing tonight is horse shit? Because I'm telling you, I did not like our management company, and I love our new board. I love our complex, and thank you very much to the board of directors. Thank you very much. And you know, the landlord.
Thanks, Jeff.
And I love all of you. I think it's great. Right? So the ones that are complaining, step up. We have a management company that I have 5 or 6 condos, and I don't like any of our management companies. And I'm so impressed that you guys are self-managed and not paying that condo fee.
Tell us a little bit more about this initiative that I met you at the other day?
Sure. Thank you. 100 people who share Bruce County is about 100 people getting together for 1 hour, committing to pay $100 each. So that equals $10,000 per meeting. We meet 3 times a year. If our group is less than 100 people, well, it's only $8,000 that we can give that organization. But every local charity, not-for-profit organization that comes and presents to our group then is eligible to be voted on, and we then issue checks 3 times a year to those groups that participate. It's a busy night. It's exciting. There's lots of buzz all the time, people gathering to network and say hello, but it's an important commitment that each of us makes. We gather and listen to organizations and charities that have made applications or been nominated by one of the members to be a recipient of the funds that are raised. In the last couple of years, we've added a silent auction table to every event as well. And while that may, it's cause for some concern because we keep going back to our businesses community to obtain $50 or $25 gift certificate or some sort of a product that they can share with us as a donation, and that those items then are part of our silent auction. That in itself creates a lot of buzz and excitement during the evening. People want to know that they've won an iPad or they've won car detailing. So it's an exciting part of the evening. When the organizations are nominated, the name of that group goes into the hat, we call it. This past meeting, we had 9 organizations in the hat. And from that group, 3 were pulled out, so that at every meeting, we have 3 presentations. The presentations are done by the executive managers or by the chief volunteer of the organization. Sometimes there's 3 people that do a presentation to the group. The group then can ask questions based on the information presented to try and formulate their personal need, requirement to support that organization. So we listen to the 3 presentations, and then we take a pause and we come back and we vote on what we've heard that night. The vote is casting a ballot to say group A, group B, or group C. We collectively accept that group B is chosen. So group B that night gets everyone's $100 plus the silent auction. That group's name is then taken out of the hat. They're not eligible to come back to us for 3 years. That's fine. We've got 8 other nominations in the hat, and often we're adding to it all of the time. Every month, it seems we get another nomination. So, the 2 that didn't get chosen, they go back in the hat. So the perpetuating hat, if you will, we contact each group and say, okay, we need you to come to the meeting on this date and have your presentation. If you don't have someone present at the meeting, then your name goes back in the hat. Maybe you can't get there for whatever reason. So the name goes back in the hat and another name is drawn. But every meeting we have 3 that we hear. So it's a $300 commitment for the year because we meet 3 times a year, giving $100 a night. It's a pretty fantastic way to support our local initiatives in Bruce County with a quick donation. Really, it's this week we did the Good Food Box. We're well over $5,000 and we're not finished collecting yet. That's money needed for that organization to provide the food that they do to our community. In my mind, it's easy. It's a great time to get together with people, and you're supporting our local groups. They don't have to apply for a grant. They don't have to wait for the funds. It's immediate. They know that pocket of money is going to help them do something. So their nomination, they do their presentation at one meeting, and then at our next meeting, the group that won comes back and tells us how they use the money. You don't get that very often. You don't know where your money goes when you just write a check. But this group, they come back and they tell us how they use the funds, what programming it offered, whether it's Alzheimer's or community living. They've been able to introduce a new program because of our financial support that they couldn't have before. So it's a win-win for everyone. It's a win-win for us. It's a win-win for the organization. And most of all, it's a win-win for the people that are served by that organization. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Thank you. And also, you didn't say this, but I'll stress this. It's also a big, big, big help for people like me. Whether my name is mentioned or not, it's giving me an opportunity to pay forwards or give back to the community.
Yeah, that's very true.
One question I have is that Bill Pike said that he's gradually fading away and he's got 4 excellent people as successors. Now, I know you're one of them. Could you tell us who the other 3 are?
Bridget Rackett, Kimberly Lowry, and Melinda Smegel have stepped up along with myself. So we're encouraging Bill to hang on for another 15 years.
Sure, yeah. But it's important. Succession planning is very important.
Oh, it is, yeah.
I've seen too many plans and programs being run by one person, and all of a sudden that person is ill or out and everything collapses. Succession planning is very important. Long time ago, when I was entered the management at the lowest rung, I was very excited because from 2 weeks now I was entitled to 4 weeks vacation. So it was a big thrill. So I worked my butt off for 11 months and I said, okay, I'm going for the next month. And my CEO called me and he said, hey, that's great. You've done a good job, whatever. You're worthy. You deserve that 1 month. But who's going to look after the place when you're gone? I said, I don't know. I said, but that's part of being a manager. You need to have a replacement. It's nice to think that you're, indispensable. But so obviously I didn't go on vacation. So he gave me 2 months to train somebody else. But that was a lesson learned that I never thought about it. I always thought I'm available 24 hours a day if they call me. And I used to go at 2 in the morning if there's a problem. But if I couldn't make it, there was no second in command. And that was 30 years ago. But since then, I've always worried about it in everything, even in volunteer application. And Bill Pike and I were talking about that, in our driving expertise, we need to recruit more people. I've got drivers in Toronto area, but not here. And it'll happen, but these are all things that we shouldn't forget. These are all, if you forget it, it's gone. Okay.
It's true.
Any other closing words of wisdom?
They're important.
Thank you. Thanks very much. And thanks for coming and giving us your time. And
you're welcome.
God bless you. All the best.
Thank you so much. A pleasure. Take care.
Bye-bye.
That we are closing in on $250,000 local donations, thanks to you. This might be the best kept secret in Bruce County, although we're working hard to get her name out. I would challenge every one of you. These cards are not for you. You're already members. Take those cards, give them to your son, your daughter, your aunt in Milwaukee. Let's get the name out, and in July, if I have to rent a bigger space, I'll do so. On behalf of 100 people who share, thank you, good night, and the meeting's over.